Can we just? Yeah. Fine. Take it away.
Yeah. So I'll be focusing only on the language aspect because it's something that I keep hearing about from when I visit outside India. That do you speak Indian? It's like a first question that people ask. So it's like a long explanation that I have to give. And so as you know, India is extremely diverse. So I wish I could cover multiple aspects, but I want to specifically focus on the language itself because that itself is a huge topic. So before I start, I want to give a scale of the populations that I'll be saying. So even if I'm saying 1% of the population, that's like out of 1.4 billion people, it's a 1%. So it's a significant population. So here is the states, Indian states compared like populations of other countries. So we like to give a judgment of the amount of people or populations I'm talking about. I wanted to show it. So there's like United Kingdom and Karnataka, or like Germany and Tamil Nadu, or Brazil plus Ecuador in Uttar Pradesh here. So, yes. So just to give a scale of the amount of people involved. So I'd like to start with this is the 2000 rupee Indian note, the old one. It has the Mangalyaan Mars orbiter. But what I want to focus here is this part of it. So you see a lot of lines here. They're not very clear. But yeah, this is a 10 rupee note, and you can see it here as well. So what are these? These are the languages of India. So India has officially 22 scheduled languages, out of which 15 are here. Some of them have a similar script. Some of them have no script at all. They're orally spoken. So these are the, so each state has its own official language as well. And that is represented in this map. So Hindi is the predominantly spoken language at 41%. And then you have the other languages. So what I'm saying here is they're not dialects, they are actual separate languages. So this is the composition of each language. So Hindi is the most spoken. This is just first speakers, mother tongue. Then you have other like second language and third language who speak it. So the percentages will be different, but Hindi is the major, and then Bengali, Telugu, Marathi, Tamil, and so on. So this is a common sight in India if you go. So you'll have multilingual boards, which might even have like 6-7 languages. And if you're in a tourist spot, this is a common spot. Like you have Indian languages, and then you have European languages for foreign tourists. And similarly here, it's usually Hindi, English, and the local language that's presented. And similarly, in Google Maps, if you see, each state is represented by its own language. So this is different from this, is different from this, is different from this, is different from that. So each script is also different. A more realistic view is something like this, because even within each state, you have so many languages being spoken. So according to a private survey by the People's Linguistic Survey of India, India has the second highest number of languages at 780, and that just below Papua New Guinea. And according to the Indian government census of 2011, there are like 1,369 rationalized mother tongues, or like dialects, which are clubbed together into a set of 121 languages. So that is a lot, and that's what covering it in 10 minutes itself feels unjustified. But so English and Hindi serve as major lingua franca, but still there is a significant population that knows either of them. So here is again a representation of the diversity, the linguistic diversity even within small regions. So you have the urban centers, of course, having so many languages. So Bengaluru, the state capital of Karnataka, has the highest amongst all districts at 107. But here there's Dimapur, which is not a city, but it is a province in the northeast of India. It has a lot of indigenous people and tribals. It's a hilly region. So you can see the diversity of languages spoken, and it's not like there's one major language that is representing. There's just such a wide array, and not even many people from India might know about most of these languages and cultures. So it is important that they are preserved, and yeah, like even within a state, the state might have one or two official languages, but then you're missing out so much of diversity and variety within each state. And coming to scripts, so this is different languages having different scripts. This is like a small representation of each language. So the Devanagari script is the major, mostly used for Hindi and Marathi and so on. So different languages can have the same script, as you can see here. So this is, I love learning languages. I have written it in different languages. So मलाई भाषाहरू सिक्न मन पर्छ और मुझे भाषाएं सीखना पसंद है. मला भाषा शिकायला आवडेत and भाषा शिक्षणं मम बहु रोचते. So like different, the same line having different writing styles within the same script. And also there is this case where the same languages can be written in different scripts. So you have these Dogri, Punjabi, and many languages even in the Northeast that go under this, that they have Devanagari and other scripts. So it's like a extra layer of complication. And speaking of classical languages, so India, along with such diversity, has a huge and long, rich history. So this is a special section of categorized by the government for languages that have at least 1,000-year volume of literature present in their language. So there are 6 right now. So Tamil, Sanskrit, Kannada, Telugu, Malayalam, and Odia. So they have their own epics. For example, Mahabharata and Ramayana are the 2 major epics in Sanskrit. Mahabharata being the largest in the world, and Tamil has its own 5 epics, Silappadigaram being one of them. So why it's important to know all this? Because some mishaps like this happen during translation. Like, so this is, the place name is Hatia, and what happened is someone just put it in Google Translate, I guess, because Hatia in Hindi means to murder, and the Malayalam translation came to be Kolapadagam, which means murderer, and they just printed it. So these kind of mishaps happen, and it's important to know in dealing with such a huge diversity. So, and then again, as a business or a political point of view, if you're seeing such a varied landscape and you want to cover such a huge country, you need to, people have different perceptions towards language, gender, and so on. So in that scenario, if you want to cover as a business, you want to do something, say in the north, the same formula might not work down south or in the northeast. So these kind of subtleties should be understood if you're like trying to set up a business or like starting a political party in India. So, and something that is evident is the movie industry, which is that Bollywood is the, or I would say was the biggest in India at point. It mainly caters to the Hindi audience, Hindi speaking audience, which is set up in Bombay. But that alone is not the language industry. So for example, Tollywood is growing now. It's for the Telugu language, so it's T. So like all of them are like portmanteaus of Hollywood. So yeah, so the recent Oscar award winning song Natu Natu was from Tollywood. So there is a significant audience for each of these industries as well, and that sometimes gets let off, like forgotten when going to the broader audience. But there's so much of cinema. When you combine all of them together, you get, like, India produces the most number of movies per year in the world. So there's like a lot of rich diversity and culture being represented in all of them. So that's Bollywood, and the like regional cinema, there's Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Bengali, and so on. So I would like to end this note on India's long history and philosophy of such huge diversity. So this is from the old Tamil saying by Kanin Pungundanar. He was a philosopher and astronomer, that Yadum Mure Yavarum Kelir which is I am a world citizen and everyone is my kith and kin. And a similar thing is from Sanskrit. Both are the oldest languages in the country. And that is I am Nija Paroveti Ganana Laguchetasam Udara Charitanam tu Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Which is one is a relative, the other is a stranger, say the small-minded. The entire world is a family. Live the magnanimous. I'd like to end that. Thank you.
Thank you. That was super interesting. Any questions? Comments?
How many of those languages can you understand?
I speak 5, like I can. So it's not something very uncommon.
Is there any official language?
So the central government issues in English and Hindi, but it's the responsibility of the state government to issue it in the local languages as well. So there's a lot goes into translation.
Sounds like it'd be a good job to be a translator.
Can you explain what you're wearing?
Oh, this is from. So I'm from the south of India. So Tamil is my. So Tamil is my native mother tongue, though I live in Bangalore, which is in Karnataka. So this is something you wear from this is a veshti, or some say it as a dhoti.
Just the lower part or the?
Yeah, this is the lower part. This is a khadi shirt. So like it's mostly made of cotton and like made completely in India because this is something which got popular during the freedom struggle against the British. So they're taxing clothes. So Gandhi promoted locally made cotton goods to fight against British imposition. So this is something from that. But yeah, the typical attire in South India. Especially the hot weather, it's like nice.
Well, if there's no more questions, let's thank Captain.